ethicist and artist. And I'm going to be sharing with you an exercise on drawing faces and emotions. In the graphic medicine community, we've been hosting some live drawing sessions for the past few weeks that give people an opportunity to draw together, express themselves, share in our communal response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and to give us something fun and rewarding to do as a group. So this is a short video that describes a session that I did a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to be both posting summaries of the videos after the fact, but you can also participate live in real time by going to the Graphic Medicine website, which is www.graphicmedicine.org, and there's instructions there on how to sign up to join us for the sessions. So today, as I said, we're going to be doing a session on drawing faces and drawing masks, and let's get started. We all have feelings. It's a normal part of being human, and sometimes the feelings we have are complicated and contradictory. How many times have people experienced both fear and exhilaration? How many times have you felt happy and sad, or excited yet having trepidation? This can be confusing for us, but it's also normal. It's okay to have feelings that contradict one another and which raise questions for us. So we're going to do this through the context of making masks. I've been thinking a lot about masks lately because during the COVID-19 pandemic, we're all being encouraged to wear masks in the public, and also to even make our own masks. And of course, the purpose of these masks is to protect us from infection and for us to protect others from catching this terrible infection. But it has an unintended consequence as well, which is to hide our faces and to hide our feelings, which are so often expressed through our faces. And so I thought about using the mask making activity as a way to show our feelings rather than to hide our feelings. Now, this idea about a mask making project is not original. I borrowed this from the artist Danny Gregory, who is a founder of Sketchbook School. He's also an author and an artist, and he did a live drawing session as part of the Sketchbook School on this mask making activity, and I thought it was fantastic and that I could adapt it for our graphic medicine community. Interestingly, he got the idea from Saul Steinberg, who's an artist who did a similar type of activity in the 1960s, and I'll also post a link to the Saul Steinberg Foundation below. And finally, this has been inspired in part by Lynda Barry's work, who is such a creative force in drawing feelings and common experiences. So let's get started in making masks to draw our experiences, and I will guide you through doing that. So this is going to be a three-part exercise. Part one is drawing a bunch of rectangles and making faces. Part two will be picking one of those faces and making an enlarged version of it and turning it into a mask. And part three will be photographing yourself wearing that mask and sharing it with others if you wish. So let's start with drawing the rectangles. You're going to need a sheet of copy paper, 8.5 by 11. You could use a sketchbook if you want, but this is how I'm doing it. And a Sharpie thick black marker or something similar to that. And there's the other materials for some of the later aspects of it. So here's how a simple way to draw the rectangles. Start with a piece of paper, fold it in half lengthwise like this. Fold it in half again. So now you have it in quarters, right? And then fold it in half one more time. you now have is a piece of paper with 8 rectangles that are all similar size. Then what you do is get yourself a Sharpie. I'm going to do that. And draw a border around the paper about a 1/2 inch from the edge of the paper, all the way around. And then along the creases, draw lines, but don't go outside the border. And what you have now is a grid of 8 similarly sized rectangles, and we're going to draw faces in that. So let me say a few words about the faces. These are not meant to be representational drawings. These are rather drawings that express emotions and feelings, and they don't necessarily even have to be your emotions, but just human emotions. And so this doesn't have to be a reflection of how you're feeling at the moment, though it could be. Think about tribal masks. These should be bold and expressive, and try to have a very different kind of emotion in each of the boxes. Don't draw a face like a circle or an oval, but rather use the entire box for the mask. So I'll just give you some quick examples. You can draw eyes, a nose, a mouth. Now the secret weapon of the cartoonist is the eyebrows, because with eyebrows you can really change the emotional feeling of something. So draw it like this, and what you see is someone who's angry. If I were to do a similar kind of drawing and have the eyebrows look like this, it's more of a perplexed kind of feeling. And so on. You can make these as detailed and as wacky as you want. I will just do a couple here to give you a sense what I'm talking about. And can add some facial hair. The mouth can be happy. Right? Something like that. The nose can be varied. The eyebrows, as I said, can be varied. Can add some embellishments like hair. These are very quick, and you can spend more time on them. But these are just some examples of what I'm talking about. Take about 7 minutes and fill in this grid with as many different kinds of faces as you can come up with, different emotions in each, and when you're done, you can resume, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, so you've now finished part 1 of the exercise. I have finished my grid of 8. I embellished a few of them, added a couple of more. And so part 2 then is to take and look at one of these faces and identify one that you want to, that's really speaking to you in some way, that you want to spend a little bit more time on. And it doesn't have to represent how you're feeling, but it could, and it's just one that you want to take and make a mask on. And so pick one of these, and then you can make a larger version of it. And there's a couple of different ways to do it. The simplest way is just get another piece of paper, which I did here, 8.5 by 11 copy paper, and just make an enlarged version of it. And you can add more detail and expressiveness to it, and I would say spend about 7 minutes again making the larger version, which then can be your mask. If you're ambitious and want to do something more than just a piece of copy paper, you can get a shopping bag, plain old shopping bag like this, paint it white with some acrylic paint or some gesso, get a paintbrush like this and just paint it. and then make a mask with here's some acrylic ink, paint, or you can use a marker or some thick broad-based brush and do it on the shopping bag, which then of course you can put on your head to make a mask that way. So let's stop here, take about 7 minutes, set yourself a timer, make your mask. All right, I hope you enjoyed that activity of making the mask. And now it's time for part 3 of the exercise, which is to wear the mask. Here's mine. So if you're so inclined, this part of the exercise is you put on the mask. It could be that shopping bag that I talked about. It could just be holding this up in front of your face. Go in some environment that you want to wear the mask and take a photograph of yourself with the mask on. I would ask that you take the photograph in black and white rather than color, because this often has a more direct emotional appeal than does the color photograph, and then post it online, and you can send it to us at graphicmedicine.org, but if you want to post it to social media, it would be at the hashtag drawingtogethergm. Again, it's listed down below, and we'd love to see what you came up with. So thanks for spending the time with me and with the graphic medicine community, and look forward to seeing your masks and your actual faces in the future. Take care.